just for the top of the stream. And we're live. No pomp and circumstance here, motherfuckers.
Fuck no, not today, baby.
Not today, baby. We're here. We're going to be live reacting to the state of play. This is going to be going up on our YouTube channel as well. So you might be watching this later on YouTube. But we have 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Blaze it until it starts.
Blaze it.
So Cayman, let's do some quick in the next 4 minutes. Let's talk about what we might expect, what we hope, our hopes and dreams for this 30-minute state of play.
30-minute state of play. I mean, that's like we're trying to jam pack in a bunch of stuff into this.
Yeah.
I guess my thing is like I wonder how heavy it's going to be on VR. Like 15 minutes of VR, 15 minutes of is it going to be split? Because if it's VR, I have no earthly idea what they're going to do. VR is such a wild beast right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They did say that they're going to show more of Call of the Mountain on Twitter yesterday. Okay. They were like, they confirmed like it'll definitely be there. I think that's the only thing that we have had like explicit confirmation on. So I would expect we get like a 2 to 3 minute deeper dive into that. I hope we get a release date. If we don't get a release date, I think they'll at least just tag on there like 2022 to like reiterate that it's coming out this year. But I don't know. I feel like we could get a date here.
I definitely think that this is the perfect time to drop a date, especially if it's going to be launching in like October or November, like holiday season. I think this is a perfect time to do a PSVR 2 release date. And I think if they do, like if they're showing Call of the Mountain, then I 100% believe that they'll be like, and it's launching alongside PlayStation VR on, and then they'll drop that date.
Right.
Or they won't, they'll just say it's launching alongside the PlayStation VR 2 when it comes out.
Sure.
So that could be.
Yeah, that tracks.
The third party stuff is what gets me interested because like what little things, like, is it just going to be, it could very well be just like a bunch of indie games, which is totally fine. Yeah. You know, there might be some little nuggets in there that are worth it. Maybe they'll announce Cat Quest 3. What about
that? Let's hope. Let us pray that we're going to get Cat Quest 3 officially announced on the state of play. I mean, do you think they've specifically said third party? Do you think we might get any first party? Also, Rabbit128 in the chat. I believe that's our friend John in the chat. Hey, John, if that's you, if I'm misremembering your Twitch, then sue me. But yeah, what do you first party? You think we got any first parties coming?
I mean, they haven't said anything about first party. I mean, obviously, if they're going to do first party, it'll probably be PSVR first party titles. Obviously, Call of Mountain, if they've already announced that, then yes. We will see some first party. Not sure what else would be. I don't know. I mean, they were very heavy worded with this is going to be third party games. So I doubt anything outside of PSVR 2 games will be first party. I could be wrong. I'm really hoping this is like there's like a 0.1% chance.
I mean, famously
Resident Evil 4 remake today, but
God, I hope. Famously, state of play always gets overblown. Like everyone, the hype up to it is like, oh my God, we're gonna get The Last of Us 3, which we're not. But I don't know. They could. There's always the possibility of a one more thing, and it's something like God of War or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a chance they'll do that. I think, and here's my thing: is a lot of these, like, I feel like a state of play about God of War, we'll get a release date then.
Sure.
Something like The Last of Us Part 3 or something like Resident Evil 4 remake, I feel like is going to come during like Summer Games Fest or you know,
something with a little more
pomp and circumstance behind it. Yeah, definitely. Not sure if we'll get anything huge announced today. I hope so. I always love huge announcements. I want that Gatorade hype moment, but I mean the last few state of plays have been, let's be honest, been a little lackluster. So
if we don't see Deathloop, I'm rioting.
If I'm Sony, I would just do it just to piss people off.
All right, we're about to start.
Let's do this.
John, let us know if the audio is troublesome at all, because this is the first time we're doing this. Let's turn it up a little bit. Wow, she's so pretty. I recognize this font. Cayman. Let's go. Are you kidding me?
How fucking wrong we were.
Right before I was going to say, what if we get factions? Or a remake? Oh, no. Oh, wow. The guitar tricked me. Wow. I thought this was a Last of Us thing with the guitar, but it's for Resident Evil 4.
Well, that 0.1% chance I was right, baby.
Oh my god. Ooh, it looks so good. What did they say? 324? 23?
323?
Guess you, me. Been doing this spot to vacation, eh?
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
Fuck yes.
Well, how did this happen?
And like that doesn't look like Resident Evil 4.
What happened that night? Pain. Even for a second.
It does and it doesn't. Like it looks like
it can be different. It has to.
It looks kind of like with how they did with Resident Evil 2, where they kind of reworked some things. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, they definitely said that they were PlayStation VR 2 content. Okay, fair. No, they definitely said that what was it? That it was like they're gonna set more stuff at night, it's gonna be way more horror focused. That looks more horror focused and looks more set at night.
VR2 content also in development.
Insane.
Now let's get a sneak peek at 4 games in development for PlayStation VR 2.
Oh, interesting.
Now, let's take a look at him.
Did you ever play Village?
I have a copy.
Wow,
We gave away a copy.
That's
you
right. That's right.
escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Yes, mother. Yes, mother.
This should have been.
I can only imagine. This is going to be fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, this Resident Evil 7 in VR, I never finished it in VR because it was too scary.
So I've always been told that with RE8 that it starts way more horror and then ends up way more action by the end.
Correct.
So I wonder how that's going to shake out. Like, I don't think it's going to like affect the game itself and make the game shitty by any means, but like,
yeah,
I wonder, is there going to be like more motion sickness and stuff like that towards the end?
Could be. Yeah, the Village. There were parts in the first half of Village that is like top 5 like scariest parts of video games ever for me.
Watch like a lot of speed runs of people that like horror speed runs, especially. I think are really fun to watch people play, and they'll be like, "We're playing on the absolute hardest difficulty with just a knife, and we're beating the game in an hour and 30 minutes." You're like,
fuck those people. All right, what's this?
You, of all people,
Dying
have
Light?
the audacity to question me.
It's a good question.
You, who emerged from the
New
putrid
Orleans.
waters of the Bayou.
Oh, is this another Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, maybe?
Oh, that could be.
What have you done to ensure the future of this forsaken
Looks more
city?
cartoonish than the first
You,
Saints and Sinners.
who have brought nothing but chaos.
Arizona Sunshine Part 2. New Orleans Sunshine.
It was I who shined as a beacon of hope for all.
I recognize this voice
Tower
too.
cries out for blood, and I vow
Oh, that's
to
pretty cool.
spell it.
TT.
When the bells ring, the song they sing will be
Covers and
righteous.
titties.
Retribution. Okay, so
Okay,
this is
all right, fair.
Welcome home, tourist.
I heard it got great reviews. Obviously, I'm not a big VR guy, so I don't know particularly, but like that's cool.
I am going
done
to
on
play
my
the first one at some
Skydance.
point. I just haven't yet. Ratchet? No. No, No Man's Sky.
No, yeah, it looks like No Man's Sky.
I need to try No Man's Sky again. I played it when it first came out, and it was just kind of boring then. But now it's like an entirely new game.
You gave me your copy, and I was like, "This is dog shit."
Yeah, a friend of mine bought a copy, and they sent him 2, so he gave it to me. So I was like, "Yeah, I don't need it."
I love the redemption arc.
Oh, for sure.
Is it Hello Games?
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
Hello Games, yeah.
Where are you taking me? I asked you a question. Everyone says Reyes is a good shot.
Yeah, and put arrows through both of us. You're switching with me.
It's a snap mob. We're not gonna make it. Ah!
The floating hands is so funny. It's so like immersion breaking to me.
Yeah.
But why? Redemption is still possible.
Do you think it's just difficult to like animate arms, like big old wiggly arms and shit?
I think so. Like there are probably times when the arm would look like way too long, and
I mean, this looks cool as fuck.
it does look really cool.
I also could see this. I mean, is it on rails? It almost looks like it is.
It does. It looks very on rails to me.
Do that, and you shall be a free man. It will take all your wits, your skills, and courage. Have walked in the shadows, Reyes.
Like this kind of stuff like sells me on PlayStation VR, but also it's like the investment cost to just play one game doesn't seem worth it to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Hi, I'm Ben McCaw, narrative director at Gorilla.
Ah,
Hope you
hey
enjoyed
Ben
your
McCaw.
first look at Horizon Call of the Mountain, coming exclusively.
You know this
to
dude
PlayStation
rocks some fucking
VR
New
2.
Balance shoes.
We're also
Oh,
happy
yeah.
to announce that a big update to Horizon Forbidden West, including New Game Plus,
Ooh,
will be available to download on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5
today.
Major update. Let's fucking go.
Performance mode, okay. Oh, cool.
Nice. That's awesome. New trophies.
For details on this free
It's
update,
just tough for me. Like if they're not gonna be like, hey, here's a new
from all of us
platinum.
at Gorilla,
I'm gonna be like,
thank you for your continued support. and
I'm just a
please stay
terrible
tuned for
gamer.
more
Trophies
updates
have
to come.
ruined me.
And like, if there's no actual new game content, what
Yeah.
are the trophies? Is it just more like hunting type trophies? Like that doesn't sound.
It
very
could
fun.
be things like ultra hard difficulty completed trophies, and
But there's
that's
probably
just
like a completed on New Game Plus, I assume.
yeah. All right, let's go. Insomniac.
So much and asking for nothing. If you want to change the world, you have to be the kind of man who can make the hardest
On PC.
Wow.
Do you really need 2 of those?
You are everything that's wrong with this city.
That's disappointing. I mean, it's cool
I'm gonna
for
go,
PC players, but
Do your thing.
you can't just push people around like that.
Just ask for help next time.
Time to bring back the glory days.
You know, part of it, like I've been like lingering on the idea of coming back and playing Spider-Man Remastered
Mhm.
and like getting the platinum again for it. I'm just like, it's the idea of having to play those fucking Mary Jane missions that just prevents me. Oh shit!
There we go, Stray. Let's go. Don't let me down, Stray. You're my next fantasy critic choice. As someone who got the platinum, shut up. As someone who got the platinum a second time in Spider-Man, though, I think you'll still have fun even with the Mary Jane missions.
Yeah, I just can't wait to play it on my huge ass 65-inch OLED. Like, it's gonna look so nice.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, sounds just like George, my cat. Just the screaming part. It's very noisy.
We don't talk enough about how we both have a cat named George.
Yeah, George Washington, and mine's just George. Sydney really fucked up on the naming. All right.
No. I love it.
July 19th. July 19th, Patrick. Right. Let's go.
So the rumors are true.
There we go.
Honestly, that looks great.
Oh, yeah, it looks so much fun.
PlayStation Plus extra members and higher can download Stray at no extra cost.
Cool.
It launches next month.
Oh shit, that's the fuck yeah.
That will get your heart racing.
All right. I see you over there, Sony. Okay, what's this?
Some camera angles adjusted for trailer use. That's what
the fuck does that even mean?
Striking distance. That doesn't mean anything to me.
I want to say striking distance was just a newly acquired Sony studio, maybe. I'll have to look into that.
Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto the Dead?
Oh, Callisto Protocol.
Dead. Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck. So whatever you're holding on to right there.
This is like a Dead Space spiritual successor.
That's your old.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I know what this is.
Because your new life.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just trying to give you a chance.
You know, I was just having a conversation with someone about how, like, I was like, you know, video games aren't nearly as violent as they used to be.
That's true.
This gives me hope that we're bringing it back. Oh, this looks fucked up. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's like the original game director for Dead Space, and like a bunch of that original team is making this video game. So it's gonna probably feel Dead Space as hell.
Ooh, look at that.
Which honestly, I'm thrilled about because that and the Dead Space remake. This looks awesome.
This looks dope.
Spooky.
I wonder if we're gonna release date, or is it? I guess this is like the first real trailer.
December
oh
2.
Shit! Hello.
So 2023.
2023. Okay. Yep, that's fair. I should have got excited at that.
Although I don't know. I mean, it's been in development a while.
In the year 2030,
Deathloop.
a new blood sport grips the globe.
Oh god, this is gonna be a fucking battle royale.
Well, Roll 7. I think they did Ollie Ollie World.
And the dead.
They're doing Jet Set Radio.
Whoa! I love this vibe.
This is like the old 70s rollerball film,
Yeah.
or the more recent early 2000s Ice Cube rollerball film.
This is like roller derby meets Tony Hawk meets Fortnite.
I love the art style.
I love
this. Is really cool looking. Oh shit! I wonder if it is like a point scoring and then also kills and shit. Like that'd be fucking cool.
If
Like,
this is
do
not a
tricks
multiplayer
and shit.
game, and this is just to do tricks and kill things for points, because Roll 7, I'm pretty sure they did all the Ollie worlds.
The world is watching.
Roller drone.
That's cool. That looks
really
cool.
What did that say? August?
Yeah, August 16th, maybe.
If things will ever be normal again.
Another Final Fantasy. What the fuck?
This
Or
looks
was
like,
this Tokyo Ghoul?
this looks like a Persona art style. It's not going to be, but
No.
the fuck?
No, it's not Tokyo Ghoul.
John says, "Where we dropping, boys? The roller rink." Correct.
Fuck yeah.
The world hasn't ended yet. It's not hopeless. I won't let anyone else get hurt.
Trust me, the world is hopeless.
Don't you have science in your
Just
corner?
because a bunch of Japanese kids tell me it's not. Don't trust them. I can see this as being like Suda 51's next game.
Press R2 to hold hands.
To see what you can do.
Press F to hold to give your respects. Can I get an F in the chat, please? Can I get an F in the chat?
I like how weird it looks, but this is not speaking to me. Eternites. I also hate
Looks
the name.
very Japanese. You know, coming from someone who is like, I love the name Jedi Survivor, and you're like, Eternites? Nope. Can't handle that.
Come on.
Action games and dating sims
Also, I'm
collide
like
in
4 hours into
Eternites,
replaying
coming
Fallen
to
Order. I'm
PS5
hooked
and
already.
PS4
Nice.
next year. Let's check
That
back
game
in
is
with
so good.
Capcom for a new look at
I think
an upcoming
we're
reboot.
doing a family movie night tonight with the.
There's the F in the chat
old-
from John.
Thank you. Give me that F.
Is this Street Fighter?
Just looks like some Street Fighter shit. Maybe some King of Fighters. Where's Evan Brando
I
to
know,
come
right?
in here and be like,
Just bust in.
Actually, guys, I don't know if you know this, but the Street Fighter story really revolves around Ryu.
Wow.
When you go looking for
If
strength,
that's a Brando impression,
it's not like a game.
he's gonna
Spot on.
murder you.
This journey doesn't have
John says
Love-
D. Don't ask what that does. I won't.
Okay, then. Hope you're ready to begin.
I'm assuming they're gonna announce a new character, and this guy's
Yeah, probably.
Ken's brother, Jeff.
The newest Street Fighter character, Jeff.
Watch them fucking come out and be like, and coming to the stage, Jeff. Like, fuck you. What is
Wow,
this?
so is this-
What?
Open world situation?
Is it Balrog?
I was writing. I didn't see, but probably.
Oh, well, there's
there was
Chun-Li.
boxing happening.
Open world. Is it Street Fighter 6 gameplay?
Mhm. I think so.
Like, can we just keep talking? Like, Ryu over the years, man, he is a beefy boy. Kiss. Oh. Damn. Missed opportunity. That haircut, though. It's the haircut I always wanted to have.
Jamie, Luke.
Okay,
Chun-Li.
that's almost as bad. That, if anything, might be worse than Jeff.
Yeah. I each year or each new Street Fighter, I dislike their art style more and more every time they change it.
I don't know, man. I kind of appreciate that they do stuff like this still. I feel like a lot of them are like going back to like we're getting back into like that Arc System Works kind of like art style or pixel art too. Well, I mean, I guess like Mortal Kombat and Tekken are still, relatively realistic. But I don't know. I kind of appreciate this like half cartoon, half realistic kind of weird shit. I don't know. It's different.
I like everything around the character models. I just don't like the character model animations. Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6 confirmed to exist
Online
more than just that.
multiplayer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that looked like an open world situation. Your moment, your
It's
fight.
interesting. You know, I have a feeling what'll happen is the game will come out and people will be like, the worst part of Street Fighter 6 is the open world segments. I mean, hey, props for trying, I suppose.
All right, we got 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Come on.
I feel
We
like
already
we
got the
didn't see-
huge.
Interesting. We didn't see very much VR. I feel like we got to see more VR, but maybe that was it.
I mean, I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like-
I never finished it. I did really love what I played. I just, after a little while, I just kind of no longer cared to come back.
Sure.
But I think you'll really, really like this game.
It looks like something I would love. There's something about, I don't know, something about just the art style of Tunic really, it like really draws me in, I suppose.
For sure. John, also, he's on my side. Street Fighter new art style was meh, he says. September 27th.
I mean, look, I'm wrong all the time, so, and I
no,
do run-
and that's just taste.
Well, I mean, like, I do Save Trash Cinema, the podcast.
That's true.
So my tastes are
wrong.
Sus, as the kids say.
To make it real for people in the future.
Ooh, what is this?
I don't know, but
I think
I'm
we've
already
seen. I think we've seen something about this already. Maybe.
We asked her about traveling alone. When the season turns, what will remain? Only
Is this the game where you're the journalist who like goes around, you're just like talking to people?
Could be.
She carries the sounds of the season.
Nick just texted me about Tunic. He's watching. Apparently, he's not watching our stream. Little shit.
What the fuck, Nick? All right.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
The way she listened made you want to tell her everything.
I got to look in her journal. The world was telling her its secrets. I think she even figured out what will happen to us when the season ends. Is it going? Is it
Yeah,
gone?
John in the chat. What the fuck, Nick? I'm texting him right now. It's like, you little piece of shit. I'm not actually saying that.
Sorry, my Gambit decided to come and say hello. Apparently, show the door. Seasons, a letter to the future. That looks cool. I like that. Looks dope.
Seasons or season?
I think it season.
世界中のゲーマーの皆さん、
This guy.
こんにちは。ファンタジー16プロデューサーの吉田です。長らくお待たせいたしましたが、いよいよファイナルファンタジー16最新情報をお届けする日がやってまいりました。
Was not expecting this.
Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah, wasn't expecting we're going to get any details about this year at all.
今、世界には本当に様々な困難があります。僕らゲーム開発者にはゲームを一生懸命
Look who's in the chat. Little Nicky Nick.
Oh, he's in? He's in now?
Well, what do you know?
Well, what do you know?
Look who decides to show. And now the trailer. Nick, what have you thought so far about what we've seen? Cayman, did you play 15?
Yeah, I loved 15.
Yeah. I never finished it. That was one I also just didn't
did. I was like, man, I'm going to get the platinum. And then I was like, man, I'm burned the fuck out at like 80 hours. And I was like, I can't. Kind of like Valhalla.
Nick's excited.
It unmakes us, that its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon.
When do you think we're going to get? 2023? Late 2023 maybe? For Final Fantasy?
You know, oh wow.
What the shit?
Whoa.
It looks way darker than
does.
any of the other Final Fantasy
You know,
games.
I could see this coming spring.
So what did that be, like Q2?
Mm-hmm.
Q1?
Probably Q2. May, maybe.
It looks cool. Look at those naked peoples.
And found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
Nick, are you going to be joining us for Save Trash Cinema Family Movie Night next week?
Our duel will shake the island to its foundations.
You know, I gotta say, I kind of miss the turn-based combat.
You know, I do too. Like, I would just kind of, we need more shit out of Tokyo RPG Factory. Like, I want a sequel to I Am Setsuna. Like, that game was fucking beautiful.
Like, I like the action gameplay, but I think that's ultimately the reason why I didn't go back to 7. Is that I kind of got bored with the combat. This looks really cool though.
You should really you haven't started up Tales of. Did you play any of Tales of Arise?
No, I never started it up. It's sitting on
Tales
my
of
shelf.
Arise is really good. Good old fashioned. It's like action turn based. Or it's more action, but way less than like Final Fantasy VII was. But if you want turn based,
sure,
Yakuza Like a Dragon, baby. Just saying. All right, give me some deets. When is it coming? 2023, obviously.
I don't think they're gonna give us a number.
Child of fate.
Chaos. Which one of us is going to play Stranger of Paradise first?
Summer 2023. Okay, so it could be Q2. Could be Q2.
Yeah. That seems to shake
Is this
out
what we
in
ended
my
on?
head.
Do we think we have one more?
I don't know. That's a good question. Probably the end.
That's a wrap.
I mean, it's a pretty good wrap, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, look, I think ultimately not a bad state of play. If anything, more shocking than anything else. Like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, not too bad.
I definitely 100% was like, we're not gonna get anything huge. I was just trying to prep myself so I wasn't disappointed. But like, Tunic coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, awesome.
Yeah,
Stray getting a release date, fuck yeah. Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4?
For sure. So this is, we can go down the line real quick, but first, so this is when I'd asked Nick his thoughts. He said, just got in about 15 minutes ago, forgot the name, but the space horror game looked incredibly scary and gorgeous. That was Callisto Protocol. And then excited for Tunic, anything Final Fantasy he's about. And then he also said he's about to start Tales of Arise after the God of War. And he also ordered Yakuza.
Fuck yeah.
So let's go from top to bottom. Or actually, you know what? Before we go top to bottom, overall thoughts. Like, I would say I thought it was pretty good. What about you?
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, look, I can't complain about any of this, right?
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil 4 being announced. I mean, that's sells the entire show for me.
Sure. Yeah.
And like I said before we got started, I was like, yeah, there's like a 0.01% chance that we'll see it. And then it's the very first thing we see.
Yeah.
Honestly,
they tricked me. I thought it was
that would
last of
okay. You know, I think what kills me is that like Gatorade hype moment was the very first thing. And sure, Final Fantasy 16, fucking awesome. That's really cool. I'm glad that we got to see some more info about that. And it excites me that like the game is there. It's still coming. Like, that's really cool. But like, ultimately, if I was the one who set the show, I would have started with Final Fantasy, ended with Resident Evil 4.
Sure.
Because and you know, don't get me wrong, this could 100% just be my opinion. And like, because Resident Evil 4 is a huge thing for both of us, that like my hype level for Resident Evil 4 is much higher than like, we all knew Final Fantasy 16 was coming. We've already seen gameplay, like very alpha footage of the game. They've already announced it. So like starting with that, I think works better in my opinion. Like, you start with something that's really hyped, like, holy shit, like that's hell yeah, we're getting more info about this. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we get a tentative release window. We got a release date, an actual release date for a game that they've been denying exists.
Yeah.
And that's the first game you start with. If you start with something like that, you need to end with something like that.
Sure.
So I think if you flipped it, my thoughts on this would be a lot higher. However, with that being said, I think this was a great showcase. There was a lot of really cool stuff involved. way less PSVR 2. Like, I legitimately thought we were going to get a PSVR 2 release date.
Yeah,
today.
I'm shocked at how little VR 2 we saw. It was like 4 games for VR 2.
Yeah,
that was it.
So that gets me like, that's like, okay. So now I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we're going to get PSVR 2 this year. Like, I'm now starting to think that it's going to be 2023, maybe mid 2023, probably springtime, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, John says I agree. Announce VR and PC pushes first, and then new drops last. Yeah, like I feel like if you start with Resident Evil 4, immediately that tells me like, holy shit, what else do they have in store? But that was the biggest thing they had. So yeah, I agree. That was but at the same time, like from a content consumption standpoint, I bet there's a huge drop off by the end. Like people don't just sit there the whole time. Not everybody. So like if they want to get their biggest story out first, I also I get that too.
Yeah. Or maybe you're kind of selling people on the idea that's like, we started with this, then stay the whole time because we're going to launch with something even crazier. So like, I don't know, maybe like I understand. I can see why they would want to do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think it works as well as the intended. But then again, it could be, you are correct. Like the people start up and they see Final Fantasy 16 and then it kind of sags in the middle. No, I don't think it sagged in the middle. I thought like Protocol, Strays launch date or release date, Tunic announced. There was a lot of really good stuff in this. I think this will be a sleeper state of play for the most part, mainly just from like the middle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff there. But I mean, ultimately, like you announced Resident Evil 4, I call this a success for Sony.
For sure. Yeah.
Now, the question is...
Go ahead.
The question now is Resident Evil 4 an exclusive? Because we know this is not going to come to Switch.
Not going to come to Switch. I wouldn't expect it to be an exclusive, personally. Because I don't think the other ones were exclusives, the 2 and 3. And I feel like if it was exclusive, they would have said that, because that's something to, in the console wars, you always want to say what you got. So
were 2 and 3 non-exclusives? I mean, I don't know. I'm not as in the ecosystem with
2.
I know for a fact it's on PC, so maybe it's not.
If 2 was on Xbox, I didn't look up 3, but I assume 3 was too. Okay. But yeah, so this is what we got. Let's go down the list. So Resident Evil 4 remake, we talked about that already. Looks fucking great. I love, like, as someone who didn't play the original Resident Evil 2, I love that they like spruced it up a little bit and kind of, it was like 90% the same game. So and it looks kind of like a lot of what they showed, I didn't recognize as like a 1-to-1 recreation. So that's cool. Village, and then after this was the VR section. So we got Village VR, we got Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2, No Man's Sky, and Call of the Mountain. Of those 4 came in. Do any of those make you consider getting VR 2 as of today?
No.
Same, actually.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to like what we talked about on this week's episode, which if you tuned into Twitch, you would have seen the episode live. If not, it went live today. So if you haven't tuned into that, you should. Like we kind of discussed back when we did that episode, was like, hey, like there needs to be something more than just one.
Yeah,
for me. And sure, like there's a lot of really cool looking stuff. It is interesting to me that like a lot of VR, and I don't want to say like most of VR because I don't think that's true, but I would say a good portion of VR. It's really like kind of kept around the idea of horror games, which I think VR is a good platform for horror. Like I think that's a good utilization of it. But it's also like, how many people are you going to draw in with your big titles? A lot of times are going to be horror focused because not everyone is a horror game fan.
Yeah.
And especially people who are like, I can stomach horror, put me in a VR and I am out the door. And so it is interesting that that's kind of like a big push, because out of all those games that they announced tonight, I mean, Resident Evil 4 is going to have VR support for certain aspects. Resident Evil 8 is going to get a VR port. Saints and Sinners VR, another horror game. So out of like all of the games that were announced, only 2 of the games out of the 5 were not horror focused? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. So Village, Walking Dead, and then they said the RE4 is going to there's VR content in development. So that 3 of the 5 is like hard horror.
Yeah, so it's like are you I love the idea that that's where horror itself. I'm a huge horror fan, so like the getting into that I think is really cool. Like that's kind of where we're going with horror, like more interactive. I think that's awesome. That's awesome for horror as a genre, a all expansive genre, right?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. But I don't know if that sells VR to more than a very small subsect of people. I
bet between now and whenever the release of VR2 is going to be, I bet we get a nothing but VR focused state of play. Whenever they announce it, and it'll probably be 30 minutes. They'll probably show 15 to 20 games. A lot of them will probably be some version of like ports or remakes kind of thing. Things like bringing Moss Book 2 or Half-Life Alyx, that kind of stuff. But yeah,
I wouldn't even say Half-Life Alyx is kind of a horror game.
Yeah. I mean, Half-Life has always kind of had that horror vibe to it.
And there's like a moment I know there's like this moment in Half-Life Alyx that's like very horror, and a lot of people are like can't finish this because this is too spooky, scary for me.
I tried to go on like total blackout because I didn't want anything spoiled.
So like I don't know, I don't know. That's more of me just pontificating aloud. That like that is interesting. That like it is very
that's a good
focused. Point. But yeah, no, I think you're gonna have like I don't know if VR is gonna sell gangbusters, really pull in a mass audience until you have a Call of Duty VR port.
Yeah.
And I'm personally not huge on Call of Duty, mainly just because of the multiplayer. Like if I could just buy the campaign for like $20 or $30,
sure.
Like I'd play the campaign, and that's all I really wanted of Call of Duty is the campaign. But like I don't know. I think it needs that extra some other huge title or something that's really gonna grab an audience to be like, if you want to play this brand new, very good game, you have to get a VR. But if you get a VR, you're also going to have 10 other very good games lined up behind it that you can play at any point. It needs that. And
they need to do another Astrobot Rescue Mission kind of game, like a third person platformer that honestly feels like Super Mario 64 but in VR. That's what they need.
Hey,
because that game is so good. Go ahead.
Sackboy's Big Adventure.
Ooh, yeah.
Would be really cool in VR.
And
I think would work really well in VR.
Yeah, I think so.
So like, yeah, but like I think that's the thing is like VR right now, for it to succeed and to be the game changer that it has the ability to be, it needs extra something. It needs that pop. And right now for me, I don't think it's got that pop, and I'm not sold on it.
Yeah.
I think ultimately VR will be revolutionary, but I'm afraid that that's not going to be for another 10 to 15 years.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it could happen sooner than 10 to 15, but it definitely, I don't walk away from this state of play being like, oh, wow, PSVR 2, that's the future.
Yeah, they definitely sold this on being a PSVR 2 state of play, and then really didn't deliver anything PSVR 2 related that I was excited about.
Yeah.
Everything else I was like fully on board.
Yeah.
We were definitely misled.
But yeah, a little bit. So after Call of the Mountain, they also told us that there's some new stuff coming to Horizon Forbidden West. We're getting a new game plus. We're getting transmog, so you can wear whatever you want and have the benefits of other pieces of equipment on it. A performance mode, new trophies. And there was a fifth thing that I didn't get to write down. I don't know if you remember off the top of your head. But it didn't, there was no like new story content. It was all like little bits here and there.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Remastered on PC, which doesn't do anything for me, but what it does do actually, now that I think about it, if it is Steam Deck compatible, that could be a really cool Steam Deck game. I would
really
love
cool, yeah.
to, because I definitely, the more I see people talk about Steam Decks, the more I want one. I won't be able to get one for a long time because they're so
Patrick,
back ordered.
I'm gonna be your financial advisor soon. Think you need help, buddy.
I gotta stay. The people at home listening gotta know what the Steam Deck's all about, Cayman.
That is fair. That is fair. You're gonna have to figure out a way to write that off on your taxes.
Oh yeah. After Spider-Man on PC, we got Stray coming July 19th. The rumors were true. Saw some gameplay. Honestly, looks fucking cute as shit. I can't wait. That's probably gonna be a Rose game. Simply because you play as a cat, and we both are big cat people. And the really cool thing about Stray, PS Plus Extra and Premium tiers get it for free in July. How cool is that?
I'm wondering if this is the first sign that we're getting closer and closer to Sony starting to try to tread the same water that Game Pass does by being like, hey, if you're part of this deluxe package, you'll get launches day one. I think this is a win. I think this is a win for Sony launching it day one. I don't know how big of a win. I think it's more of a win if they were to launch something like Madden or something like that. But honestly, like, I think this is a solid get for Sony to be able to say, like, hey, this is a good incentive for you to start doing this. Like,
look, the people need it, Cayman. Sweetski 101, Nick Sawalski says, that streamy deck. Yeah, I want to check it out as well. He needs to know my impressions, Cayman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Advise me financially all you want, but I'm buying a Steam Deck. Callisto Protocol got a release date of December 2022. Really hope we can hit that date because that game looks fucking awesome. But I feel like that's the first time we've really
gonna say about that. A boomstick.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
First time we've really seen it in depth. And the release date is end of December. So I would say like 40% to 60% chance. Honestly, 50 to 70% chance it's delayed. And maybe not even long. Maybe it's only until January or February. But it's been a really long time. I will be shocked, but I really hope that they can make it because it looked really, really awesome. But you know what? They also probably, bye, Nick. He's got to go. He's got to make some dinner. Love you, Nick. They, Callisto Protocol peoples, they probably also don't want to be super close to Dead Space, right? So, and that's coming out in January. So like if it's not coming in December, I feel like it's coming out in like March.
Or big fuck you to Dead Space. we're launching Callisto Protocol the same week.
Well, would it be a fuck you to Dead Space, or would it be a we're dead in the water to Callisto Protocol?
It's a dead in the water.
Yeah.
It would be 100% a dead in the water. Yes. No, it's 100% dead in the water. Yeah. No, so I think for them, like them launching in December is actually a very smart move.
Yeah.
Because you get in before the Dead Space hype, right? Because if the game is not as good as the Dead Space remake,
you're in trouble.
Then
if it comes out after.
If it comes out after, 1,000% you're in trouble because people will just constantly be like, well, Dead Space remake was better. And
if they nail it, if they come out and they nail it, then Dead Space is just being compared to Callisto in a good way, right? Like, oh, it's not as good as Callisto or whatever. So like having the first move, that's
more really advantageous.
100%.
More advantageous for them to be where they are then. Yeah.
So maybe
and I think that's the thing is like if I'm was it striking distance? Like if I'm striking distance and I'm kind of in this position where I'm like, I have to make a decision on this. Like for me, the way that this shakes out is like either the game launches that day or this game is not going to launch until until this date next year. Because I need as much distance as possible between that comparison that's going to take place if it launches afterwards, I think could ultimately destroy this game.
Could do. Yeah.
So unless if it launches before, then you set the bar and then let Dead Space try to get it.
The only way
unless you feel that,
Yeah. I feel like the only way I could see that not happening for them if they did have to push it is if it was like death looped, where like it became a banner title for Sony and they were just marketing the shit out of it, which could potentially happen now that we've seen it at the same play.
For sure. But do we know if Callisto Protocol is exclusive or is it cross?
You know, I don't know. Let me do a quick little Callisto Protocol search. And while I pull that up, after we got Callisto Protocol, we got Roller Drome.
That looks so fucking cool.
Looks really cool. It's going to be on Xbox as well. PC, Xbox,
okay.
PlayStation. Yeah, that looks really cool. I'm super interested, as we were saying during the stream, I'm super interested to see, is this a multiplayer game or not? Because if it's not, which I feel like it's not going to be, I feel like they would have shown us more of the roller skaters if it was going to be single player. Or
yeah, definitely. Like there, I think the thing is like watching this is like there were stagnant enemies that were being fired upon. And then they introduced a boss as well. So if this is a battle royale style game or even just a multiplayer shooter, they would have shown them moving around like real humans would have moved.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
This definitely looks, and you know what? If you have like a multiplayer portion to this game, I'm okay with that as long as this, like, you give me the ability to have like single player, even if it's not missions, it's just like here are maps, like they do with Tony Hawk, where they're like, here are maps, and these are objectives you can do while doing the map. But honestly, the ultimate goal is to get the highest score possible, and getting the highest score is doing crazy tricks and shit while blowing stuff up.
That's a cool concept.
Fucking awesome to me.
Yeah,
I want
a
Tony Hawk game where he's got a fucking grenade launcher and he's just shooting his grenades at fucking Bam Margera the whole game. That's it. Your only enemy is just Bam Margera gets into
just 1,000 Bam Margeras.
Yeah.
Or who was the guy on the Bam show that they always just would beat the shit out of with their, like, the old guy?
Phil. Not Phil. No, not Phil. Phil was the dad. There was another guy. I forgot his name.
You know what I'm talking about? Gray hair, like bigger guy. Like
yeah. Not Phil. Yeah, there was another guy. I forgot what his name. It's like Uncle something.
Okay, after Roller Drome. Oh, which Roller Drome coming August 2022. After Roller Drome, we got Eternites, which is apparently coming early 2023. And like I couldn't put my finger on what kind of game it's going to be. Like I was getting like novel, or what do you call those games?
Visual novel,
but also like there was action gameplay. So I don't know. That was a weird one for me.
It kind of looked like, it reminded me slightly of Astral Chain.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm waiting on that one. That it'll probably be dead in the water once it launches.
Yeah.
To be really honest with you.
After that, fucking Eternites, you're dead. Street Fighter 6 we got after Eternites, which is coming 2023. I would assume that's like a late 2023 game, but the very interesting part about that was what seemed like, do you remember the game Mortal Kombat Conquest came in, where it had like a single player campaign where you would like run around as Liu Kang?
It wasn't.
Or was it not Conquest?
Conquest. I think one was Conquest. No, it was Conquest Mode.
Oh,
it was Conquest Mode, spelled with a K. And it was it Annihilation?
Annihilation is the movie.
No, well, I mean, I want to say there was a game Annihilation, but I'm wrong. I don't remember.
Oh, was it part of Deadly Alliance?
Oh, that might have been it. It might have been Deadly Alliance. Yeah, it definitely has like a feel like there's definitely going to be like an open world mode of sorts, or maybe not even really open world, but like a game hub. So that kind of makes me think like there might be like a creative fighter for this, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
like if you have like a creative fighter, I wonder how that would play into like Street Fighter tournaments. Like, can you like have a creative fighter and like you're not allowed to use like Ken or Ryu? You have to use your creative fighter. Would be pretty cool to see. I don't know how that would work, honestly, but it sounds cool in concept.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a Street Fighter game. I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, me either. I will probably never play that game. Unless it's free on Game Pass and I play it for like a day. After that, Tunic coming to PlayStation September 27th, which I think is great. I could see that one being on one of the like whether it's PlayStation Plus, Premium, whatever. I could see that being a good option for that. After that, we got a game called either Season or Seasons. I'm not sure if it was singular or plural. I was writing.
That's cool.
August 2022. Yeah, very indie. It seems like there's some sort of an investigation situation happening. But yeah, it looked like my shit. But interestingly, when you look at run of show, that being the second to last game kind of weird. Like, honestly, I feel like up into Roller Dream, the show was really strong. Even though the VR2 segment was kind of weak, like it's still up through Roller Dream I felt was strong. But then after that, Eternights, Street Fighter 6, Tunic, Seasons, and then Final Fantasy 16. Kind of a weird second half.
Second half was interesting. I think ending, would you like to say what the last game was?
Final Fantasy 16.
Final Fantasy. Ending on Final Fantasy 16, I think it was a smart move.
Yeah.
And that still goes back to the whole, like, it starts with Resident Evil 4 and it ends with Final Fantasy 16. I think it's a smart move to end it strong enough. I know people are clamoring for more information about Final Fantasy 16. When is it going to come out? Giving us a window. That was the best move they could do. If they just ended with Final Fantasy 16 and they're like, here's some gameplay, and that's it, I'd be like, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Giving me a window, I think, is more important. Like, we needed a window. We needed to know kind of roughly when we thought it was going to come out.
For sure.
That's, I think, definitely saves having Final Fantasy 16 at the end, even though Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a huge game. Like, it's going to be a huge release.
Yeah.
So, summer of 2023. Do I think it hits it? Like with every game? Absolutely not.
No,
I think this is going to be like a November game, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a Christmas game, like a holiday game. But also, I mean, I don't know. Like, sometimes with a game like Final Fantasy, like I'm torn because it's been so long since it was announced that like maybe it could hit summer. Maybe
it's
like
so weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, summertime is such a weird time to release a massive game. But when I say that, we've got, The Last of Us, the first Last of Us launch, actually both Last of Us launched summertime. So, maybe it's not a huge leap that they would launch it in summer. I mean, summer is normally a dead period for the games industry. Like, it's kind of a slow, which is always weird to me. Like, I would always be like, maybe because the gaming audience, not the gaming audience is like, there's not kid gamers. There's always going to be gamers. And it's the ages range. I had a guy at the old folks home who huge into Battlefield. I played with him a couple times. I actually bought the game just to play with him, and it was a ton of fun. So, like, he was like in his 80s.
Jerry.
His name was Ron.
Ron.
But like, there's gamers from toddlers to in their elderly years. So it's always weird to me, though, like back in the day when I was a kid, where I was like, you don't really have all these, like, no games are really coming out this year. Like, during the summertime. Like, there's no any games. And, like, that's when, like, I spent the most time in my childhood gaming was during the summer because I was off the whole time. So, like, not having, like, games.
Yeah.
That's weird. Kind of weird to me,
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe they think, like, people are taking vacations and shit like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
But, look, if it launches in summer, like, that's cool because normally summer is not a huge, there's not like a lot going on in summer. So I think it might squeeze into a really good period where there's not anything else there. But then again, I think there's a shit ton of stuff in the horizon for 2023 because of COVID. So I think
2023 is on track to be like an unbelievable game year.
Yeah, it's going to be jam fucking packed. I can't wait for the Game Awards, and they're like, all of these games are coming in 2023, and it's going to just be absolute overload.
Yeah.
So, like, look, I think it's fine. Ultimately, kind of as we round that turn for the state of play, like, the more we sit and talk on it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There's like really good shit here. Yeah.
It's time to bring back the shovels, Cayman, the golden shovels.
Save it or can it?
on a 5-point scale, because I only have 5 options of banners. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. How many golden shovels are you giving this state of play?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm right there with you. I would agree. This is a solid 4 out of 5 for me.
And that's so wild to say because Resident Evil 4 Remake was announced.
Yeah.
With a release date.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like after that moment, we kind of just slowed our momentum. And I don't know, like, I know this is really sad to say, but like the Final Fantasy 16 announcement at the end was just, I don't know. It didn't hit for me.
It didn't hit for me either.
And so it just kind of felt, I mean, it definitely did like this for me. It's like went across, like we were very high.
Yeah.
Then we started going back down and we kind of middled a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we peaked a little bit more, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So it was like one of the saddest roller coasters in the world.
Yeah. There have been a lot worse state of plays in the history of state of plays.
Oh, no. 1,000%.
Sure.
That's why I think like a 4 is a very solid, maybe 4.5 would be, but we don't have 4.5. It's
well,
just
we don't.
solid
Yeah,
numbers.
it's
so
solid numbers.
Yeah, so I have to go with a 4. I think a 4 is a solid out of 5 is a solid get for Sony right now. I definitely think that like maybe if they had like an announcement more about like the actual like this is when PSVR 2 is going to launch, that could have escalated it.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that. So I think a 4, and a lot of that is contingent upon the Resident Evil remake.
Yeah. Well, folks, that was this state of play on June 2nd, 2022. We're going to be back this weekend. Is it? No, next weekend. It's next weekend for the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. I think it's the 9th or the 12th, one of those two. 12th. I think it's the 12th.
Sure.
Keep an eye on our socials. If you can follow Spot Games Pod on Twitter, Spotlight Games Pod everywhere else. Cayman, thank you for coming along this ride.
Absolutely.
Until we meet again, praise be to Gengar.